There she is, boys. Just another work log. Don't know where we were last time. I think it was rotor, I think. Ignition rotor. So that's all back now. Still cold out. But yeah, that's all back now. That's all installed, and I've been working on the electrics. So basically got the engine rewired. All the wires are in place now. So it's just a matter of just finalising a few. Got the new loom, the new advanced components loom in. But it's quite, I don't know if you can see, grey plug. Yeah, that grey plug there goes to the injectors. But basically had to rewire that to keep the existing Suzuki injectors. So this was the injector loom that you got with, standard. Well, with the new loom. But that's got a slightly different fitting on the end here. That's basically aftermarket injectors. So eventually I'll replace those injectors, because I think you can only get something like 50 brake horsepower per injector from what I've read up on there. So eventually they'll need to be replaced. But yeah, so the wiring's in. What's left to do on the engine side is just I've got to send an email to Specialist Components, because basically they're the existing output on the rotor here. This is the crankshaft sensor. That's the colouring, and we've got on the new one, we've got red, blue, and we've got green, blue. So presumably it's blue to blue and green to red on this one. So, but that's just one I just need to query, because I just being a little bit retented about that. But devil's in the detail and all that. And then we just got to ground this out here. I've done this here and added a little mini fuse box to this part, so that when we can, before the way it was wired was there was basically one wire going straight into the under the body here, powering everything up, and it wasn't even the fuse for it was inside here. So if it did burn out or something goes on, then the whole loom here would have burnt out, this part of it, this whole, rather than just having a fuse here as Mr. Fixxy suggested. So what I've done is added a four-way one to basically separate everything: the chassis, the engine, the lights, all going to be, the all the ancillaries inside all going to be on a separate fuse, so on the coming in. Yeah, so basically all the wires are in there now. I've made a little box here which can have the laptop, should eventually all be hinged up into the dashboard. The Specialist Components Tornado ECUs in there, and that all just needs fixing up. And then I'm going to use this as a mould, this kind of glove box type situation, and then that'll be one of the carbon fibre projects, or might be just a glass fibre, that one. But yeah, here she is. And then steering wheel's in. I just got to weld that up next, make up a little bracket for the gears, and then I was just talking to Mr. Fixxy about how we're going to do the indicators for that. And I think we were saying that we were going to have at the bottom have a little hall sensor, and then it basically, as it goes to neutral, that triggers a little relay which turns off the indicators, and then basically going to have indicators on the steering wheel inside there, just a little carbon plate just sandwiched between the steering wheel and the adapter. So yeah, probably going to be a little bit longer than 420 this one, but just give you a little update what I've done. It's looking a bit of a mess, but weekend I'm going to get in there and put another little layer across the top here. So basically you can take the whole box out and leave a little layer that just basically will move to the side, that holds all the the engine relays, fuel pump relays and all that sort of stuff, all that's part of the chassis. So then you could take the whole tray out, work on it on the platform here, and off you go. But yeah, that's coming on. Not my specialist area, but I've got Mr. Fixxy to call upon. Generis security, if anyone needs any cameras or security stuff installed on their premises. Mr. Fixxy's your man. But yeah, we just testing the little hall sensor, the little speed sensor, because it did get a knock and it got knocked out and I never actually got it working again. So we just set up a little circuit here with a little are we going to focus? Not liking that background probably. But yeah, have a little 10k doody on there, doodioed. But yeah, it seems to be working fine. Let's see if we can get the circuit working. Where were we? Yeah, we had a little switch here. Okay, so we should have, the magnet was in this little thing. So if then we moved that over the sensor, it should go from like 0 to 12. Oh. 12 and then, yeah. And if I do it again, that should go back to 0. Or 0-ish. Yep. So yeah, that sensor's working, so I might be able to install that again. But I think I might actually install that in this tunnel part here, around this area, rather than in the engine bay where it was down here before, and it was really awkward to get to. So I can't see any problem with that, install it there. So yes, this is, what's it, Thursday, so Saturday I'm going to spend a day out here and finish the wiring off, well finish what I've got installed off, and it's getting pretty close to the point of firing it up now. Once that's all set up, it's got a base map on it. I think it's a 1400cc Hayabusa base map on it, so next thing is really finding someone to put it on the rolling roads, and on the rolling road and get it checked over, and that's it. Well, as you boys, signing off. ECU coming on nicely, and then I suppose that'll be ready for the next little journey that we're going to do to it. There she is, boys. And there's the software, boys. Once the ECU's fired up, I had it fired up earlier, and so just using it to test the throttle position sensor. So that was, moving up and down, moving the pulse width. Coolant temperature was working. Sorry, the inlet air temperature, that was working because that was a sensor that would come with the specialist components. So I just wanted to check it's all wired in correctly by myself and all working, all present and correct. But yeah, it's a little update there with the software. And then just got the map editor and stuff, just for changing all the, all your fuel maps, your pulse widths, and this is what I've got to learn, boys. But all looks fun to me. All looks fun. What's the worst I can do? Blow it up. There she is, boys. There she is, boys. There she is, boys. That's the steering wheel put on now, all welded on, ready to go. So just the electronics on the top here. So I'm just making the plug up, and that's the steering wheel done. Got the cable here ready with a plug. So a little plug go on the chassis connector here, and this one will go to the little steering console, with all the switches and stuff on. This is, boys, prototype steering wheel ready, installed. Just need to wire it up now. So it's all clipped in the back there. So we've got indicators left and right, headlight flash, headlight full beam, ignition on, starter motor, ignition off, headlight off. There she is. mining addicted, boss. Mining addicted. This is, boys, crankshaft sensor synchronisation. Right, let's give it a crank over.
Woo!